So, are you familiar with the artist Meghan Trainor?
Yeah.
What do you think of Meghan Trainor?
I know there was, like, weird online discourse about her song All About That Bass, because people said it was, like, skinny shaming or whatever, and that's, like, the last I heard about her.
I found some new hot discourse about Meghan Trainor.
Oh, great.
Also, just to clarify, this is not a call-out post. This is, like, all stuff from, like, early 2014 and whatever. So, like,
Okay.
she's probably changed since then, but also, this isn't great. Let's see.
Are people talking about it currently?
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, great. Okay.
So, Trainor stated that she did not consider herself a feminist in a 2014 interview with Billboard, which isn't a great look.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe in equality.
Yeah, exactly.
I had an ex in high school that said he wasn't a feminist, he was an egalitarian. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Keanu.
Was his name actually Keanu?
Yeah, his name was Keanu.
Oh my god. That's amazing. In another
Yeah.
2014 interview, Trainor said, I wasn't strong enough to have an eating disorder. I tried to go anorexic for a good 3 hours. I ate ice and celery, but that's not even anorexic. And I quit. I was like, Ma, can you make me a sandwich? Like, immediately.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it super sucks.
I don't have the willpower to develop an eating disorder.
Right?
What?
Yeah, that's super
That
weird.
sucks.
So that's all from 2014. She has said, like, since that she is a feminist. It doesn't say anywhere on her Wikipedia that she's, like, said anything about, like, the eating disorder comments, aside from it that she got a lot of criticism from, like, Demi Lovato and other people, because of course she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
People
any,
who
like,
actually had eating disorders.
any person with a functioning brain
Yeah,
cell.
right.
Yeah.
So the reason I bring
That
this
sucks.
up is because Meghan Trainor, I think she recently dropped a new EP, or she is dropping a new EP soon. I'm not for sure. But the press release came out. And I would like to read you the press release. Because this is something else. We know you want to hear songs about all the hot newlywed sex Meghan and Daryl Sabera are having. Did you see what we did there? That part's in parentheses.
Wow, that's really dumb. Thanks.
So for starters, I don't want to hear
Thanks, I'm
about...
too...
I really don't want to hear about the sex Meghan Trainor's having.
Yeah.
Ever in any context.
Wasn't there, like, a picture of them floating around the internet, like, exiting a sex shop, and, like, one of them is definitely wearing Crocs?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was them.
I'm pretty sure that was Meghan Trainor.
Yeah. Which is why you'll love the bangin' single All the Ways. Billboard was wet for All the Ways, calling it another fun, danceable track to fall in love with. And would Billboard lie to you, girl?
Sis!
Hunty.
Uh-oh, sisters. There's a new Meghan Trainor, song.
But perhaps the pièce de résistance, that's French for wig snatch.
I want to kill myself. I so wish that I lived on the top floor of my apartment complex so I could jump out the window this very instant. How much you want to bet this was written by a white woman?
Oh, almost certain. You know what? It might have been written by, like, a straight white man who's trying to appeal to straight white women.
Maybe.
This might have been written by, like, a 72-year-old executive.
Regardless of 72-year-old wig snatch.
Could you imagine Fred
Hunty.
Flintstone saying wig snatch?
Fred Flintstone.
I don't know. He's just like quintessential, like, shitty, sexist old man. He's not even...
Fred Flintstone from the Flintstones?
Yeah, he's not that old.
That's a weird pull.
Well, it's like whatever, because he's like based on like the Honeymooners, which is like really sexist. So whenever I think of like a sexist like 40-something like man, I think of Fred Flintstone.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I see your train of thought there.
Okay, cool. My Meghan Trainor of thought.
Yeah, God. Yeah, that sucks. regardless of whatever gender this person is that's writing this article, they're definitely straight and white.
Yeah.
So, it's bad. Throw the whole thing out.
Yeah, it all sucks.
That's French for wig snatch.
That's French for
Die.
wig snatch. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But perhaps the pièce de résistance, that's French for wig snatch, is Marry Me, a romantic acoustic guitar and ukulele tinged awe fest, which delivers all the feels and then more feels.
Ukulele tinged?
Yeah.
It was soaked in ukulele. What the fuck does that mean?
I'm detecting a hint of ukulele.
Do I detect a hint of banjo? That's horrible. This entire article sucks.
Meghan wrote the song 30 days after meeting Daryl, and it was so good that she walked down the aisle to it. We know it's a little bit #vom-worthy, but also, am I chopping onions right now, or are those tears rolling down my face? I'm not crying, you're crying.
This article presumes a lot about how much I care about straight people.
But this is the press release for Meghan Trainor's new EP. So it's assuming that
Meghan Trainor herself fucking wrote it.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. This all sounds very much like Meghan Trainor.
I'm gonna snatch her fucking wigs.
Yeah. Okay, so not to shame Meghan Trainor, but a lot of her songs are weirdly sexual. Does Meghan Trainor seem like the type of person who has sex?
She seems like a weird horse girl all grown up.
I think I read somewhere that she's the equivalent of the kind of kid who reminds her teacher that they didn't assign homework yet. And I feel that.
I don't know enough about her to really be able to pin her down in that way, but that is a pretty funny way of describing somebody.
She did a song with Charlie Puth called Marvin Gaye, which contains the line, "Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on." It's a sex song, and it is the opposite of sexy.
Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on?
Mm-hmm. Because Marvin Gaye's song, "Let's Get It On," but
Okay.
No. Marvin Gaye is not a verb, and never should be.
I wonder how this person feels about that song.
Well, he's dead, so...
Huh.
So it's actually worse.
Yeah, that's a little bit worse.
Hey, let's evoke this dead guy's name for our naughty sex song between Charlie Puth and Meghan Trainor, the two least sexual pop stars in the world at the time.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
I'd say Charlie Puth has come around.
What...
I'd say he's more sexy now.
I'm gonna look up what this clown looks like.
What, Marvin Gaye? Not Marvin Gaye.
Charlie Puth. Is it Puth?
Yeah.
Charlie Puth, Betty Boop.
I don't...
Is that a song of his?
I guess. I don't think he's not necessarily sexy looking, but I'd say his music has gotten better.
He's okay.
Yeah. He has that eyebrow thing that Danny Sexbang has.
Yeah, it doesn't look good on him.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Who the fuck is this? I've never heard of this guy before in my life.
You know the song from Furious 7, the And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
him.
makes my testicles shrink up into my body with how not sexy it is.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. I mean, that's not supposed to be a sexy song.
I can't
But yeah.
place that shrieking in any sort of sexual context.
He shrieks less now, and I think that helps.
That's good.
Yeah, I'd say his most recent album is pretty good. The song Attention's pretty good.
I'm just scrolling through images of this guy on Google, and there's a GIF that keeps looping, and it just zooms in on his nipple really weirdly. I'm gonna send it to you. It's really funny.
He has his titty out?
Yeah, his fucking entire titty.
Oh my god, I'm so curious to see Charlie Puth's titty.
Okay. He's got a freckle above it.
That's cute.
He's got a freckle above his nip.
That's kind of cute. I love freckles.
I know this now because of this fucking GIF that keeps looping, and it's really awkward.
That's really interesting. But yeah, I just really wanted to share with you, my friend.
That horrible article. It's not moving on my phone.
Yeah, me neither. It's not. The
Okay.
GIF isn't moving here. So.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh well.
Yeah, thanks for making me want to jump out of the top floor of my apartment. So that's cool.
That's
I
French
hate
for
that
wig
article.
snatch.
That's French for wig snatch.
Oh my god, could that be the title of the episode? French for wig snatch.
What was the actual French?
Pièce de résistance.
Oh, piece de resistance.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, I'm not actually.
This is my Transformers episode, Jesse.
Yeah,
you fucking ruined it.
You title it.
Okay. Okay, I guess I'll record the intro now. Oh my god.
You
Okay.
loser.
Whoa, mama. Do the monkey.
It's that one video of it's that one video of all of Donkey Kong's noises from Donkey Kong 64. And he's just like, yeah, okay.
Do you remember the ASMR of, I think it was Funky Kong consoling you after a messy divorce?
Yeah, it just opens with, hey dude, I'm sorry you're going through this, man.
It's real bogus.
It's really bogus. It's so funny.
Hey dude.
Hey dude.
You're a really strong person. I know you can make it through it.
We just gotta make it through together.
Okay.
I got your back. Just hang 10 and let those waves ride you out through life.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Best Boys Podcast, a show by film students, but not just for film students. I'm your host, Leo.
And I'm the other one, Jessie. And I'm very itchy. All over.
Jesse has crabs.
Leo! You can't put me on
Way to
blast
put me
like
on
that.
blast!
We really do have the last two brain cells.
We each have one, and we both have to share.
But yeah, I just have like a giant rash on my belly. Because I shaved it the other day. And my entire tummy is on fire. So that's where I'm at right now. How are you doing, Leo?
Pretty good. My roommate and I went to a flea market, and then...
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, we had a pretty good time. It was nice. We listened to country music in her pickup truck, and it was a whole ass mood.
Nice.
It was pretty fun.
That sounds very fun.
We definitely listened to The Devil Went Down to Georgia, so
Nice.
there's that.
Did you know the Rednecks did a Eurodance like pop cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia?
No, I need to hear it.
It's very fun.
I need to listen to it. That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Rednecks is wild.
I love Rednecks so much. We can save that for another episode, though.
Yeah, Jesse definitely gave me like an entire dissertation on like Rednecks' like entire website. Apparently, you can buy the band.
You can
like,
buy
you can
the
buy
band.
the rights to the band.
You can buy the entire band for, I think it's $3 million.
So if you're interested in buying Rednecks, go to their website and hit them up, I suppose.
I think it's 3 million pounds, which is like 200, not pounds, euros, which I think is like 250. No, 2.5 rather.
300 gyros.
Gyro gear looses.
Is that the big one? No.
Don't hit the Cadillac, Mr. McD.
Well, so the reason for this season, for this particular episode, is because
It's
What?
Christmas. Jesus
It's
was born on this day.
It's fucking Christmas. Starscream, our Lord and Savior, emerged from the heavens.
Was it
No.
you, or was it, like, someone else who, like, found the Jesus page on the Transformers Wikia?
I don't think that was me.
I
but
guess
that
it wasn't
sounds
you.
really funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
We can get to
I know
that
there's
later.
I know there's Jesus on the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Wikia. Yeah, that's wild. But okay, so the reason for the season for this episode is because I want to talk about Transformers. I haven't really gotten to talk about it all that much on this podcast, and so Transformers Cyberverse came out in like August of last year, and I watched like 2 episodes like as they came out, and then I kind of forgot about it because I wasn't like super interested in the first 2 episodes. They were like fine, but I wasn't excited about it enough to really like keep track of it. I'm glad I went back and watched it because I binge watched the entire first season in like 3 or 4 hours the other day, and I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about it, so I want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
For a little background, I guess the first Transformers show that the first Transformers media that I really consumed was Transformers Animated. That came out in 2007 when I was 10 years old. And ever since then, I've been a really big fan. I've watched TFA like 3 or 4 times all the way through. I watched Beast Wars. I worked my way through G1. I have not finished G1. The Bay movies suck.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of Transformers. I watched all of Transformers Rescue Bots, and that show is like for 4-year-olds, so I'm well versed in the lore. Also, I recommend the IDW Transformers comics to literally everybody on the planet because they're super super good. More Than Meets the Eye is a fucking More Than Meets the Eye is a fucking masterpiece, and then that series ended, and it was followed by Lost Light, which was the sequel. Lost Light ended in December of last year, and I'm very sad because that entire continuity is completely over. They're starting over with a new canon, like, new character interpretations, new, like, settings, new plot, everything. Everything is completely different.
And they're not doing, they're not making it gay like the last one was.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but More Than Meets the Eye, for those of you who haven't read it and might be interested, or just like media with gay people in it. So in G1, Transformers was mostly just created to sell toys, and that was like the boy show at the time.
That's
and,
like most shows from the 80s, though.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like Ninja Turtles, that's My Little Pony, Strawberry Shortcake, G.I. Joe.
Gem and the Holograms, I can't really think of any, like... I don't think of that one as being, like, a toy show, but it's definitely in that same vein.
Yeah. He-Man.
Yeah, He-Man. Transformers was, like, very much geared towards boys, so most of the characters were male-coded. And it wasn't until the 1986 movie theatrical release that they introduced RC, where any, like, female-coded, like, characters were even introduced to the franchise. Also, fun fact, RC, do you know what RC looks like? She's like the pink one,
yeah,
and she has
pink.
little like, she has like circle kind of things on the side of her head. She was modeled after Princess Leia.
I was gonna, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she was modeled after Princess Leia.
Huh.
And then they introduce Chromia and Elita 1 and like a couple of other characters.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, that's it.
I know the story.
Yep.
Also,
Romeo and Juliet.
to clarify for those at home, my experience with Transformers is I watched maybe a couple episodes of Transformers animated when I was a kid. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun, but I didn't really like get super invested in it because I kind of like fell into the middle of the like overarching plot because they only showed it like 6 a.m. like weekday mornings.
Yeah.
So like I didn't get a chance to really see it that much. So I didn't really grow up with the show except for like a few times here and there. I watched the first Michael Bay Transformers movie because I felt like I had to, and I didn't.
Yeah.
No one has to. It's really bad.
No one should.
And then I watched Transformers: Age of Extinction because I heard that one was like fun and dumb, and it was not. It was dumb, but it was not fun because
it was not very fun.
It was 3 entire hours.
Yeah, that movie sucked. Those movies make no goddamn sense narratively. None of the characters look different from the other, so I don't care about any of them. I hate the fact that it's on Earth. I hate the fact that we're focused on these fucking human characters.
Sam Witwicky and Cade Yeager.
Yeah, I really don't care about whether or not Shia LaBeouf gets laid after prom or whatever, like, bullshit they're having us focus on.
That really is the plot of 3 entire movies.
Yeah, like
and the plot of
ancient,
go ahead.
Like these ancient, like, robotic aliens that have, like, millions of years of conflict with each other, and, like, their entire civilization, and, like, all the politics and, like, shit surrounding their war, and, like, disagreements with each other or whatever, and, like, all these characters and, like, the way that the war has affected them. None of that. But does Shia LaBeouf, will Shia LaBeouf have a date to the prom? Like, I don't care, and no one does. Like, I think I talked about this in a previous episode when we were talking about Sonic X and how, like,
yeah,
like, they just will, like, randomly introduce human characters and just, like, focus on them the entire time.
Yeah. You know what? Cade Yeager is a wacky inventor.
Yeah, he definitely is.
So it is Sonic X.
Yeah, the Michael Bay movies are literally just Sonic X, but with Optimus Prime.
And, well, the 3rd season of Sonic X is Sonic and his friends all go back to Sonic's world. We can do an entire episode on Sonic, honestly.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
I will spearhead that episode because Sonic is my Transformers.
Optimus Prime and Sonic the Hedgehog are the same character. But, so one of the things that, because you mentioned that you hadn't really watched that much of the show, or, like, you were kind of in the middle of the plot. So, Transformers Animated got canceled in 2009.
Oh, yeah.
And they had plans for a season 4, and there's a magazine out there somewhere, and they had an issue where they released a bunch of, like, information about what they were planning on doing with season 4, and, like, oh my god, I get upset, like, sometimes about how that show was canceled, because I loved it so much, and, like, their plans for season 4 were just, like, so cool, and I was very, very excited about, I would have been really excited to see, like, what they were doing, and, like, how they would have wrapped up the series, but, like, spoilers, I guess, if you still care to watch. The show has been out for over 10 years now, but, like, the ending of Transformers Animated is literally, like, they fight Megatron, they, like, blow him up using the Allspark, Prowl dies, and then that's it. It's literally, like, Prowl dies, they defeat Megatron, they have a parade, and then they mention something about Prowl being gone or lost, and then the series ends. That's literally it. And then in season 4, there was supposed to be, like, at the end of the season finale of, like, the final episode, they introduced these, like, animal characters. Like, you saw, like, a glimpse of them, but it was the same animals that they used for the Maximals in Transformers Beast Wars. So it seemed like they were going to kind of cross over with that continuity, or they were going to, like, talk about those characters.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was really cool, but we never got to see that happen because it got canceled, obviously. And then there's a concept called Shattered Glass. And are you familiar with the Star Trek episode Mirror, Mirror?
Is that the one where they go to, like, the alternate dimension and everyone's evil and has a goatee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's like one of the only things I know about Star Trek. Because I hear about it on other podcasts.
Yeah, the Mirror, Mirror episode of Star Trek. I think that's where the term Shattered Glass comes from when talking about this alternate universe. But it's, like, a widely accepted AU. I think they were supposed to be Shattered Glass comic books, but they're really hard to find. I've looked for them. I can't find them. But they were released, like, they only released, like, 2 or 3 of them, like, a long time ago, and they didn't sell very well, so they're really, really difficult to find. But it's basically, like, the Autobots are the bad guys, and the Decepticons are the good guys, and all of the characters' personalities are reversed. And apparently in Transformers Animated in season 4, they were going to do a Shattered Glass episode, and they have
awesome.
they have, like, designs for the characters. Like, I've seen, like, concept art of the characters that, like, what they were supposed to look like. Bumblebee looks like they basically just took the photo of him and, like, made it a negative. It's like that. It's like a bluish color instead of, like, a yellow. And God, what the fuck was his name? Optimus Prime. His Shattered Glass name is Nemesis Prime, which is, like, really cool. Yeah, it's fucking dope. But they were supposed to do a Shattered Glass episode. They were gonna have Prowl's ghost, like, communicate to the main bots, and, like, they were supposed to, like, I think it was like he died, but he wasn't able to go to the Well of Allsparks, like, so he's kind of stuck in limbo, and I thought that they were supposed to, like, help him in some way. Ultra Magnus, who is the, like, Ultra Magnus in G1 was, like, kind of Optimus's, like, right-hand man, but in Transformers Animated, they take a different tack with Optimus's character, where he's, like, more of a long-suffering, disgraced, single dad. He was, like, a part of the Autobot Academy, and then he was, like, directly responsible for, like, one of his crew members, like, dying. She comes back as Black Arachne, and she becomes a Decepticon. Spoilers again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna have to put a huge spoiler alert in front of this entire thing, because I'm just gonna ramble.
Yeah.
But, so, he was, like, kicked out of the Autobot Academy, so he's younger. Like, when you think of Optimus Prime, you think of, like, Peter Cullen's, like, voice acting work for the character, and he's just, like, this strong leadership figure. He's, like, a cool, like, badass, like, really neat dad or whatever. And then, like, in Transformers Animated, he's, like, he seems a lot younger. His design is a lot thinner. He's got a very snatched waist, which is really funny. And he's got, like, kind of big lips. But his character is, like, really interesting. But basically Ultra Magnus is, like, Magnus is, like, a title rather than a name. So Ultra Magnus is, like, the president of Cybertron, kind of, or, like, the leader. He dies, Sentinel Prime takes over, and he's, like, a real shithead. Sentinel Prime fucking sucks. He's got a really big chin, and he's really narcissistic and egotistical, so, like, he should be my favorite character, but he's not. I do like him, though. He is fun.
Uh-huh.
He sucks, though. He's like supposed to be kind of a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he becomes the Magnus. He becomes, like, the leader of the entirety of Cybertron, and they were going to explore how he sucks as a leader later on in the series, but they got canceled, so they're not going to do that. But I have a little bit of hope, because the studio that did Transformers Animated was the same studio that did Teen Titans. And Teen Titans also got canceled, and wasn't it, like, recently? It was like the Teen Titans Go movie. They had, like, a thing that was like, we figured out a way to go back, or whatever.
Yeah, they had, like, a sort of teaser in the post-credits that seems to imply that either in a sequel or in a spin-off or something. I think it ended up just being, like, a crossover episode of Teen Titans Go and the regular Teen Titans from the early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is, like, the original, like, Teen Titans characters, I think. Let me look that up, because I don't know, like, what became of that.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, Sonic X is available on Hulu.
Cool.
Both sub and dub.
Neat.
So
Sasha has Hulu. What if I just clogged her fucking Hulu feed with Sonic X?
Fuck. Honestly, like, I'm probably gonna, like, start, like, just watching the entire goddamn show. Like, both versions.
Keep us and the viewers posted.
I super will. I honestly, I might do, like a retrospective or, like, a video essay on, like, Sonic X. Because this show fascinates me. I love it. Yeah, they did a Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans, which is launches in 2019. It's a new animated project called Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. 2019. Whether we don't know anything just yet. Whether it's a second animated movie, a crossover episode, a direct-to-DVD or Blu-ray release, or something else entirely remains to be seen. So pretty much no one knows. It seems. So that was a total waste of time.
Then maybe I don't have hope for Transformers Animated ever being picked back up again, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could, like, continue it in comic form.
They kind of did, but they didn't. There was a comic book that came out, but it was just, like, a couple of one-shots. It wasn't, like, continuing the original story.
Sucks.
Maybe someday, but I don't know. Anyway, Transformers Cyberverse is one of the more recent shows that came out last year, and actually, like, the other day, they announced Rooster Teeth is actually in partnership with Netflix now, and they're going to be doing a new Transformers series that I think is based on the video game series, War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. which I have not played. My brother played them, and they're apparently very good. The animation's really good. The characters are like pretty well done, and the stories are like pretty interesting. So if they go based on that storyline, which is awesome for me because it means it's supposed to take place on Cybertron, which means they probably won't introduce bullshit human characters.
Yeah. Well, did you like the human characters in Transformers Animated?
To be fair, that was the first one that I was really exposed to, so I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I liked Sorry. Sorry was cool. I liked. Yeah, you know what? I think I did. I think I liked them, and like It's interesting because like it takes place in Detroit, which is like, you know, Motor City. And the idea is that Isaac Sumdac, who's Sorry's dad, he, like, reverse-engineered Megatron after he crashed into a field. Like, when he was, like, a kid, he, like, reverse-engineered Megatron and was able to build a robotics empire based on, like, evil technology. And, like, he literally has Megatron just, like, chilling in his basement for the entire first season.
That's fun.
It's kind of creepy, because, like, his faceplates are all broken off, and it's just, like, his, like, head and, like, a severed hand. And he's just, like, hooked up to all these monitors and, like, wires and shit. It's kind of creepy. It like, kind of freaked me out when I was younger. But, so, like, that setting, I think, is very interesting. And it kind of justifies having it on Earth. But, like, for the most part, the other continuities that I've seen and that I've watched really... I just don't know why they decided to make it on Earth, rather than having, like, you know, the human character for us to relate to. Which is, like, I don't want to relate to any of these characters. Like, I just show me the giant robots. But I think part of the reason why I enjoy Transformers so much is that G1 was so pared down and not very developed at all, like, in terms of story or characters or setting or, like, really anything. Even, like, the conflict between the Autobots and the Decepticons was just bullshit. It was like, they're good and we're bad, and that's it. What I think I find so interesting about the franchise is because with every new continuity, you can redo the entire thing. Like, you can make the conflict between the Autobots and the Decepticons about something specific. You can redo the characters, like, because certain characters are, like, sure, Ratchet is the medic. That's his thing. But Ratchet's character throughout a lot of different continuities is just so different. Like, in Transformers Animated, he seems to be based off of Bones from Star Trek. And in Transformers Prime, he's more of like a soft-spoken doctor, but still relatively angry when he needs to be. Like, these characters are so flimsy and bad that you can build on them so easily. And every time there's a new continuity or a new TV show or a new comic series that comes out, I'm always just fascinated to see like what they do with the characters. And the More Than Meets the Eye IDW comic verse is really, really good because, first of all, they're not for kids. They're very gory. They're very political. They're very dialogue heavy. There's actually not a lot of transforming in the comic series, which is really funny. Like, it's mostly just them. It's a lot of talking, come to think of it. There is a lot of action and shit, and like people die, and like they die in like really horrible ways. Honestly, it's yeah. Like there's some like oh my god, there was one part where like. Basically, the plot of that comic series is Rodimus Prime enlists a group of former Autobots and Decepticons after the events of the war to go find the Knights of Cybertron to rebuild the planet and, like, form a cyber utopia. It's basically a story about rebuilding after the war. So they go on this trip in this, like, spaceship. And basically the spaceship gets taken over by a character named Getaway, and then Getaway rules over the spaceship and like the people who have mutinied with like an iron fist because they took Megatron onto the ship, and Megatron was an Autobot for a bit. It's complicated. Just read the fucking comics, please. But so there was one scene where like someone like disobeyed Getaway, and it was bad. Like it was like. Atomizer like went against him, and in like one panel it was like, you need to come to my quarters right now, and then it changes to another scene with the main characters like doing whatever, and then it comes back and it's like Getaway is on like a comm link, and he's like, send somebody in to clean up this area. Atomizer was caught in the fray in like the holding cell or whatever. Yeah, don't know what happened. He was torn to pieces. And then, like, the camera for the comics, like, kind of pans out and we see the entire page. This guy is torn to shreds.
Damn.
His, like, spinal column is,
Jesus.
Yeah, there's, like, his eyes are, like, popped out and shit. It's really
God.
gory. Yeah, it's really fucked up. Like, I don't like horror. I get freaked out by things very, very easily. I'm okay with gore.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, made my stomach turn. And it's like robot gore. Their blood is pink. Yeah. But, like, holy shit, it was a lot.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's very much not for children. But, that series is very good, and Transformers Cyberverse is... You can tell that the writers for this show read the comics. Because there's a lot of things that happen in the comics that they kind of put into the show. Not the, obviously, like, super gory stuff, but this show also kind of takes place towards the tail end of the war on Cybertron.
Mm-hmm.
So, like... Yeah.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
like... And when they flash back... A lot of the things that happened during the war was stuff that happened in the comics. Like, there's... One of the overarching, like, themes, not themes, but, like, a thing that keeps happening in Transformers, universes, no matter what the continuity is, there's an oil house called McAdams. It's like a bar. And, McAdams shows up in IDW. I think it's referenced in Beast Wars. It's mentioned in Transformers Animated. And it's, like, a pivotal feature in Transformers Cyberverse. So there's a character in the IDW comics named Drift. His name used to be Deadlock, but he defected from the Decepticons, and Megatron had, like, a hit put on him for that reason. And in Cyberverse, there's a scene where, like, Bumblebee and Windblade are, like, hanging out in McAdams, and his name is Deadlock at the time. He, like, busts into the bar, and then Megatron is, like, following him. Is like, you thought you could leave the Decepticons, you were wrong, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, that happened in the comics. Like, they took, like, this thing that happened in the events of the series and, like, put it in the show. It's basically, it seems like a lot of the stuff that happened in the comics, as far as the war goes, was, like, boiled down and simplified, and then put in, like, the background of this show. Because, like, the show is basically... Windblade is a character that was only first introduced in the comics. She wasn't in G1, she wasn't in anything else. But she and Bumblebee are friends. She finds Bumblebee on Earth, and he doesn't have his memory. So basically, a lot of the story, like, a lot of episodes are told in flashbacks when they, like, hook up Bumblebee's, like, brain to, like, a memory cortex thing, and they're able to, like, view his memories. So it kind of builds the narrative, and it builds the world through flashbacks, and it's really, really cool. And I think that's a really interesting way of doing things. And then towards the end of the season, they obviously do more, like, in real time stuff, like, I don't know, like, Starscream and the Seekers are trying to hunt them down because they stole a Decepticon ship. Like, those are things that are happening, like, in real time in the actual episode, but for the most part, the world building is done through Bumblebee's, like, damaged memories, which is really interesting, and I really enjoy that, like, kind of narrative framework. And one of the things that I'm also really pleased about is that in most Transformers continuities that they're doing nowadays, they try to introduce more female-coded characters. And what I was mentioning before was how the G1 characters are mostly male-coded because the story was aimed towards, like, boys. But and James Roberts, who is the main writer for the IDW comics, in order to have romance arcs between characters, if they're all male-coded, is you gotta make them gay.
Yeah.
And that's what he fucking did.
Nice.
There are several, like, the main romance storylines of that comic series, they're all gay. I don't think there's a single, like, I mean, they're robots, so, like, gender isn't real, but, like, there's no, like, straight passing couples that I can really think of in that comic series. Like, Cyclonus and Tailgate wind up together, and they're two, like, male-coded characters. Chrome Dome and Rewind have been married from the beginning of the series. It's hinted at that Prowl is Chrome Dome's, like, ex-boyfriend. There's a lot. There's like, a lot of, like... Oh, there's literally trans lesbians.
I was gonna ask, what about RC?
Literally. That was bullshit. I don't like that.
Oh no, that sucks.
I'll explain it to you in a second. But there's two characters that are introduced sort of later on in the series named Lug and Anode, and they're talking to
That's cute. Lug.
Yeah, they're really cute. I think you'd enjoy them. But there's like a scene where they're talking to like some people that they used to know back on Cybertron before they like went off to they went off planet to do something. I don't remember what they were doing, but they were like reconnecting with some like people that they used to know, and one of them one of the characters referred to either Lug or Anode as he, and they're like, oh no, she's a she like me too. And they're like, oh, when did that happen? And it's like, oh yeah, when we left Planetside, like we explored new worlds and like saw new people and like different ways of existing, and we decided that this fit the way that we were better than how we were before, so we changed. So like they don't really go too much into the idea of like a gender binary within like the Transformers, but like they do have gendered pronouns because like it's in English. Like
yeah.
The comics are obviously in English, so they're going to have to translate it some way. They're going to have to use pronouns to refer to the characters in some way. But they mentioned that they, like, switched pronouns and maybe modified, like, the way that they looked. They didn't go into it. But they are literally trans, and they are, like, I don't know if they're married or if they're, like, together. They mentioned something about going back to Cybertron and having kids.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, they're like... There's, like, trans lesbians, there's a bunch of gay, like, male-coded characters. I think there's a character that's supposed to be non-binary. Their name is Lightbright, and they use they/them pronouns.
Lightbright, that's so cute!
Yeah, it's a really cute name. They come from Caminus, and Caminus is mostly...
I thought you were gonna say Canada.
No! My favorite
Transformer. Planet of Canada.
My favorite Transformer is Canada. Oh, there were some characters in Transformers Prime. That one came out in 2010. But there was two characters, Knockout and Breakdown, and Knockout was very gay-coded. Knockout was actually voiced by Timmy Turner's dad from Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, wow.
And he's, like, weirdly sexy.
Duran Norris?
I guess, yeah, I don't... Is that his name?
I think so.
That sounds right. But he's, like, a weirdly, like, kind of sexy character. He's based on... His alt mode is, like, a sports car. And he's one of those characters that's like, oh, you messed up my finish. Like, yeah, he's like that. He's very camp. He's very gay coded.
He's also Gordy from Ned's Declassified.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Gordy from Ned's Declassified is a sexy sports car.
That's funny.
But Knockout and he has like a partner in the show named Breakdown. But in the IDW verse, one of the writers for Transformers Prime also worked on the on the comics, and they are married, like in canon, in the comics. The writer was like, you know what, fuck it, I shipped them when I was working on this show, so they're married now. I said so.
That's nice.
Yeah, the comics are very, very good, and like as they were progressing, I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, they're not woke enough, and I'm just like, just be happy. Just be happy.
It's like the Steven Universe thing.
Yeah, it's like I kind of noticed that as well. Like people that are taking a relatively progressive piece of media and just tearing it to shreds because it's not progressive enough. And it's like, what would be progressive? Like, what do you want? Oh, but what you were saying about RC. So there's this like weird side plot for RC's character in the IDW continuity that I personally am not a huge fan of. I think it's really weird. But basically, RC was originally like a mech, which is like I guess the term for like a male-coded individual, Cybertronian. But there was like an evil Decepticon character. This was in the other series. It's More Than Meets the Eye, and then there's another series called Robots in Disguise that takes place concurrently, but it's back on Cybertron rather than in space. I read Robots in Disguise, but I didn't like it as much, so I didn't get into it as much. But these events happened in that comic series, so I'm not as brushed up on it as I probably should be. But you know, I gotta
really say, I don't love where this is going.
Yeah, it's not awesome. So.
Oh no, I'm right.
I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking. It's stupid. It's stupid, and I'll explain to you why it's stupid.
Okay.
I honestly elect to just ignore it as canon because it doesn't make any sense. Like, narratively speaking, and like
Okay.
within the canon of the universe, it doesn't make any sense, and I'll
Okay.
explain why. So basically, RC was like, she's like an assassin in this one. She's pretty badass. She's pretty cool, but I think she's a lesbian too in this one.
Nice.
I didn't read like the rest of the Robots in Disguise continuity, but whatever. I saw screenshots. That's all I really care about. But RC was like an assassin, and she was sent to kill this like Decepticon guy. I think his name was like Jihaxis or something. Really weird. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But she was sent to kill him, and then he like captured her and like experimented on her, and he turned her into like a femme bot against her will. So she was like forcibly transitioned into like a girl, which, and so the idea was that she was the first, in quotes, like femme bot. However, Caminus is another planet separate from Cybertron that was colonized by Cybertronians like millions of years ago, and most of the most of the characters that live on Caminus are female coded. So that makes literally no sense in canon, because it has been established that there have already been female coded characters before RC's whole thing happened. So I elect to ignore that piece of canon because it's stupid and it literally doesn't make any sense.
Okay, yeah.
But that is pretty problematic, and like kind of, it's just weird. I don't get, like, I know that they were trying to explain why there's gender differences, which I guess is like, I guess that's worth talking about, I suppose, because they're fucking car robots. Like, what?
Yeah.
Do they have genitals? Do they have a gender binary? Probably not. But like, it's worth talking about. I just don't think they handled it very well.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I thought RC was gonna get raped.
Oh no, there's nothing like that.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah,
I will
there's
say
nothing.
the thing you said isn't great either, but it's definitely, I think, better than what
Yeah, there's really no sexuality, like, when it comes to, like, I guess procreation, because in the IDW verse, it's sparks, like their life source, like their souls are harvested on a moon, and then the sparks are put in spark casings, and that's how they are made. Like, these characters are literally built. That's how Transformers, like, reproduce, I guess. But so sexuality isn't really like a thing that's really mentioned or discussed. I don't even necessarily know if they have genitals. One of my theories when I was like first reading the comics is like, if the robots do fuck, there would be no reason for them to have genitals on their own to procreate with, because they literally just build each other.
Yeah.
So if the robots do fuck, it's because they watched organic life forms do it, and they went, huh, I want to try that. So they modified their bodies to give themselves, like, wieners and shit, which is kind of funny.
And now they fuck to survive.
They just fuck for fun. They don't have to fuck to survive, because they could just build more. They just fuck for fun.
I mean,
it's purely recreational, I guess.
It started as, like, fucking to fun, and then it became, like, fuck to survive.
Fuck to survive.
Yeah.
If I don't fuck now, I'll die.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have like cool like LGBT representation in this show about car robots, which is really cool. But the whole RC thing is just odd. I don't like it. I think it's dumb.
So I have a Transformers question for you, if I may.
Hit me.
It's not super related. But so what's the deal with Bumblebee's voice?
I don't know. They just do it sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
there's like just sometimes it's like he can't talk and it's just not explained.
You know what I think it is? I've never seen why it's explained confirmed, so this is just kind of my own theory. Bumblebee in G1, I saw like, I think it was like, I have a couple of like vintage Transformers comics from 1986 when the movie came out, and it's all just character bios. It's like 3 or 4 entire comic books, just every page is like an entire bio on this character. So I have like this huge like resource of like old G1 character bios that like were published like when the movie came out. It's really cool. I need to find them. I think they're in my bookshelf somewhere. But in when one of those comic books, they describe Bumblebee as being like everyone's little brother. So he's like talkative, he's kind of childish and like not necessarily immature, but he seems like a kid. And then in Transformers Animated, his whole thing is that he does not shut up. He's like really annoying. He's like a fucking obnoxious twink, and I love him. He's like my favorite Bumblebee ever.
That's the thing I was confused about, was because I know in Transformers Animated he definitely like speaks
a lot.
But in say like the Bayformer movies and whatever, and like the recent Bumblebee movie, he can only communicate like through
his radio.
Through his radio, yeah. But I think in like some movies he can, but others he can't.
So what I think is the case. So the first time that we see Bumblebee not able to properly talk, except for using his radio, is in the Bayverse movies. In the first one.
Okay, so that was the first time they did that.
Yes, what I think happened. Oh, okay. And
weird. That's an odd choice.
The first time that they did that was in the Bayverse movies, and then Transformers Prime, which came out in 2010, is pretty heavily influenced by the Bayverse movies, and it's good. They pick stuff that works.
They pick and choose. Okay, cool.
Like they chose that Bumblebee's alt mode is a Camaro rather than a bug.
Mm-hmm.
And like
is Sam Witwicky and Michaela Baines still around?
No, they're completely different human characters. But there are human characters, unfortunately. Yeah. But
the only way I can remember Megan Fox's character's names is because it's literally just Michael Bay but feminized.
What is? Oh yeah, you're right.
Michaela Baines.
That's really bad. I didn't know that until just now. I hate that.
Yeah, it's super weird.
That's weird. It's like, I want to fuck Sam Witwicky, said Michael Bay. This is my self-insert OC.
Well, it's weird that, like, she really is, like, she should be the main character. Lindsay also does, like, a series of videos called The Whole Plate, where she, like, dissects. Yeah. And she did an episode about feminist theory in applying it to the Bayverse movies. Specifically in regards to Megan Fox's character and why everyone fucking hates Megan Fox for no reason. Because she's not a bad actress.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is, like, internalized misogyny.
Mm-hmm. And also because I think she compared Michael Bay to Hitler, and I don't think...
No, it was Steven Spielberg. And Steven Spielberg is, like, Jewish, right?
I think it was... she compared Michael Bay to Hitler, and Steven Spielberg is a producer on the Transformers movies, so like I think he like got wind of it and was like, bye.
Yeah, that sucks.
Which is fair, but she does this video and she was talking about like Michaela should be the main character of those movies because she's way more interesting than horny Shia LaBeouf, who's like, sad because he's horny.
I'm so sad because I'm horny.
Yeah, and like he's just a loser boy, and Michaela is actually like she does things with cars, and she's like
cool, she's like a
and
mechanic and shit.
She has like an actual like arc, while Sam Witwicky doesn't.
I feel like
also he has a dumber name.
Yeah.
No offense to any Witwickies out there, but.
Witwicky is actually the name of the last is the last name of the original characters in G1.
Really? Okay, so that is like carried over from.
Do you want to know what these characters' fucking names were?
Please tell me.
So the kid's name was Sam Witwicky. The dad's name.
Really? So it is Sam Witwicky. That is carried over from the show. Michael Bay didn't just pull it out of his ass.
The dad's name was Sparkplug Witwicky.
Bullshit.
I'm not even shitting you. Sam and Sparkplug.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What's the dad's name in the Bayverse movie?
Fucking, I don't know. Probably like Norris.
Well, did you say Loris?
I said Norris.
Oh, Norris. Okay. I'm gonna look it up. Transformers 2007.
Oh, what I think happened with the whole Bumblebee thing with his voice box is Transformers Prime was heavily influenced by the Bayverse movies, so I think they just pulled that design choice for the character, and then from and Cyberverse also did that as well, but part of the thing was the idea was Megatron ripped out his vocal cords. That's a thing that happens in a couple of different shows. So they just kept that narrative thing to be a part of Bumblebee's tragic backstory and why his memories are missing. That's a part of it, because he's damaged in that way, I guess. Huh. What is that face for?
So for starters, his name is Ron Witwicky, Sam's dad.
Okay.
His wife's name is Judy. Further on down in the cast list is Travis Van Winkle, which is a great name. Mm-hmm. He plays Michaela's ex-boyfriend named Trent DeMarco. The character later appeared in Friday the 13th, 2009. So the Friday the 13th reboot from 2009, starring Jared Padalecki from Stupid Natural,
okay, contains
a character and some continuity from Michael Bay's Transformers.
What the fuck? Does Michaela's ex-boyfriend fucking die in that movie? Canonically?
I'm
That's
gonna
really
have to
funny.
look it up. Yeah, shit.
That's really funny. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either. Okay, I'm looking around for this.
But basically, I feel like Michael Bay just changed that aspect of Bumblebee's character just to be subversive. Because it was
Trent dies.
oh yeah. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh my god.
So the Transformers exist in that same universe as that movie?
I guess.
That's fucking weird.
It's just not... I don't know why.
Who decided this?
I don't know.
Was it just a coincidence that the guy had the same name? Is it the same last name? Do you know?
It doesn't say. It just says in the cast his name is Trent, but he plays Trent in both movies. It's only in one of them that he has the last name DeMarco. It doesn't say anywhere on here about the fact that he's also... I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, There's nothing on
really
the
weird.
article. Wait. No. Yeah, there's nothing on here that says anything about it. This is very strange. What the why would Wikipedia include that?
The Transformers wiki is fucking wild. It's really funny.
Yeah, but this is, Wikipedia. And it's cited. It has a
really
citation. Transformers and okay, this is from bloodydisgusting.com. Transformers and Friday the 13th share a weird universe connection.
Wow.
I can't believe this is fucking bonkers. Okay, apparently IMDb credits the character as Trent DeMarco in
Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. That's crazy. And then he gets killed by Jason Voorhees just a couple years after Michaela dumped his sorry ass. That's from the article.
He definitely was a jerk, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a while.
Doesn't he
chase
doesn't he chase Shia LaBeouf up a tree?
I don't know.
I think he chases him up a tree. I think that happens.
I'm not gonna think about it because I don't care. Those movies are so just not on my radar at all. I do not care.
This is insanely funny. I can't believe Transformers and Friday the 13th happen in the same universe.
That is really funny. What
it's
if
weird.
What if there's a scene in Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees is being all scary or whatever, and then Optimus Prime just fucking shows up out of nowhere.
No.
Apparently that could happen. Apparently that's a thing that could happen.
Imagine Jason Voorhees is readying his machete and going to kill someone. You hear the
yeah,
and then Bumblebee's behind him and the little hubcap pops off the boom and pops off and he just starts peeing on Jason Voorhees.
Oh yeah,
and you just hear Optimus Prime going, "Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man."
Yeah, those movies suck real bad. I hate them so much. Every time I mention that I like Transformers, people are like, "Oh yeah, movie. Oh yeah, the Michael Bay." No, that's not what I'm talking about. How dare you?
Pees on beloved American actor John Turturro.
Yes. But basically, I think that Michael Bay made that character decision for Bumblebee to not talk just to be subversive. Because, like, in every other continuity, he's been, like, a loudmouth and he talks a lot or whatever. He's, like, fun and bubbly. And I think Michael Bay wanted to be like, oh, no, I want to do something different. And also, it makes him cuter and more marketable.
So, that's essentially the Transformers equivalent of sewing Deadpool's mouth shut in X-Men Wolverine Origins. Sure.
Except it caught on for other continuities as well. However,
weird.
It can be done well. Like and honestly, I don't mind it. I don't mind ones where Bumblebee can't talk and talks through his radio. It's cute. It really is. But yeah, it's a weird choice, but it's stuck, and I don't know why. Probably just because it's cute.
Okay. I was very confused. I looked up Samwit Wiki, and it redirected me to Spikewit Wiki. And it said the character was renamed to Sam, played by Shia LaBeouf, in the Michael Bay movies. I was like, what?
What I think is the case is, what I think happened... was like, I think Sparkplug, and then there's Spike, and then Spike has a son named Sam.
The picture they're showing on the wiki is an Autobot. Like, they're implying to me that Spike Witwicky is an Autobot.
I guess. He's aligned with them. He, hangs out with them.
He is, the picture they're showing me is a robot. He's a Transformer.
Send me the image. I'm curious.
The caption on the image, I'm sending it to you now. The caption on the image is Spike Witwicky as an Autobot headmaster partner in Dreamwave Comics.
Oh, yeah. I am not familiar with that continuity at all.
Okay.
So
really, that's the picture they pull. Speaking
of different types of bots and G1 and characters, it's time for that segment that I was telling you about.
Oh?
I have a segment to do, and I don't have an intro song or anything to do. So I'm just going to jump into it. So, okay, welcome to Leo's Transformers Corner. We'll call it that.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a list of, let's go with 4 Transformers names. 3 of which are real, and 1 of which is fake.
Oh my god, I love this.
You have to guess which one is fake.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I love this.
Okay, so here are the names. Grinder, Thrust, Ramjet, and Dirge. You have to tell me which one is fake.
Oh my fucking... Okay, which
Grinder,
one was the second one?
Thrust, Ramjet, and Dirge.
These are all, weirdly sexual except for Dirge. Okay, I feel like Grinder's real. Grinder seems like the kind of shit they would pull. Dirge doesn't sound like one you would come up with. So it's gotta be Thrust or Ramjet. Ramjet sounds like a Transformers name. I'm gonna go with Thrust.
Incorrect. Thrust is a real Transformers name.
I love it.
Grinder was the one that I made up.
Aw, damn it. It really does sound like a Transformers name.
I have one more round, but let me think for a second. Okay, I might have a couple of rounds for you, because some of these names are fucking ridiculous. I'm going to pare it down to 3 instead of 4 for these next 2 rounds, just to make it last a little longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Round 2. I'm going to name 3 names this time, maybe make it a little easier for you. Power Glide, Astro Train, and Chainsaw.
Okay. Power Glide, Astro Train, and Chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
God, I love that new rap album by Astro Train. You know, he's really going places. It really does sound like a SoundCloud rapper. Which I'm all about.
I guess I'm gonna make a SoundCloud, and that's gonna be my SoundCloud name, Astro Train.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, Astro Train,
Power Glide, and
Power Glide,
Chainsaw.
and Chainsaw. Chainsaw sounds like a real Transformer. I'm gonna say Power Glide.
Incorrect.
What?
Chainsaw is fake.
Ah, you got me.
Power Glide and Astro Train are real characters.
Oh my god.
So I'm pretty sure there's a character named Buzzsaw, but not Chainsaw.
Okay.
Okay, this is round 3, and this is the last round. Okay. Round 3, and the final round. Huffer, Pipes, and Smoke Bomb.
Huffer, Pipes, and Smoke Bomb.
Yes. The weed ones. This is the weed round.
Nice.
Huffer, Pipes, Smoke Bomb.
Huffer, Pipes, and Smoke Bomb. Gonna go with Smoke Bomb.
Yeah, that's fake.
Yeah!
Huffer
okay.
and Pipes are real.
I was really hoping I would get one right.
Yes. Okay, you got
Wonderful.
one.
Yay.
You got 1 out of 3.
Yay! It's a failing grade, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Pipes actually dies in the comics.
Oh my god.
Pretty badly.
Jeez.
Yeah, he dies of like this like rust disease.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it sucks. And then a guy gets his hands chopped off. Yeah, these comics are fucking wild.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty wild.
That's a lot.
Did you enjoy the segment?
I really love that segment. That's brilliant.
I'm gonna have to find like other just like really stupid names.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to do that again. But those were the ones that I could think of off the top of my head that were very, very stupid.
Yeah, you're in luck because I only know like 3 or 4 Transformers.
Yeah, you definitely had to Google Ironhide.
Yeah. Like now thinking about it, like I remember Jazz, Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Soundwave.
Yeah.
RC. That's it.
Do you remember like the bad guys?
You just said Ironhide. Oh well, of the Megatron, Starscream. What's the John Goodman one?
Hound. That's Hound.
Is that his name? Really?
Yeah, his name's Hound.
Oh, that's lame.
He's like a military Jeep in G1.
Huh. Okay.
The John Goodman one.
That's all I know him for. Is just
You're right. The
There's
racist.
the Ken Watanabe bot.
The racist Japanese one is Drift.
Drift. Okay, yeah.
I really
which
don't
one's the
like
John DiMaggio one from the movies.
What did they look like?
I don't remember. All I remember, he was voiced by John DiMaggio, and I think he was black-coded.
Oh fuck, I don't know.
He would be the one that sounds like Jake the dog, but more black.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Kenny has been in Transformers like a lot. He voiced some characters in the Bayverse movies, not good characters. Pretty sure he said the N-word. I'm not sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like there were some characters that were like really grossly black coded, and they like just like fought all the time, and I'm pretty sure that they used like racial slurs or at least something similar. It was bad.
Yikes.
Those movies are fucking garbage. But Tom Kenny also voiced Starscream in Transformers Animated, which is one of my favorite incarnations. I think Steve Bloom's rendition of Starscream in Transformers Prime is my favorite, and I've actually met him, and I was like, hey, you did a really good job as Starscream. Good job.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah. He's cool. He also did Heat Wave in Transformers Rescue Bots. He's a fire truck. He's angry.
Oh, that's
I like
cute.
him. Yeah, he's real
Heat
cute.
Wave.
He's a nice character.
Yeah.
Well, go read the IDW comics and report back to me, listeners at home, because they're very, very good, and they're very, very gay. So that's
That sounds
something.
Nice.
Speaking of gay stuff, I wanted to put this on the podcast because I don't think... I might be doing somebody a favor by putting it on the podcast. I don't know. Not to be too presumptuous, I suppose. But I know you reblogged this post from me, but it was that post about that book that that I reblogged earlier this morning. It's called The Lost Coast.
Yeah.
It's here. I'll just read the snippet, and listeners at home can decide if it's something that they want to look into, because I certainly want to read it and I want to promote it on the show because it sounds really cool. And when I googled it, it's kind of hard to find, so it makes me think that it's probably a new published work and perhaps not a very well known author. So I'm gonna mention it on the podcast and maybe help other people find it.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay, so I found the post about the book. It's called The Lost Coast. It's by Amy Rose Capetta, and this is the like back cover. This is like the synopsis. The spellbinding tale of 6 queer witches forging their own paths, shrouded in the mist, magic, and secrets of the ancient California redwoods. Already off to a good start because California redwoods are spooky and cool.
Yeah, and also queer witches.
Yes.
Sounds fun.
Danny didn't know what she was looking for when she and her mother spread out a map of the United States, and Danny put her finger down on Tempest, California. What she finds...
Danny.
Huh?
I love the name Danny. That's my middle name.
It's spelled with a Y. I think I like it better with an I.
Yeah, me too.
What she finds there are the Greys, a group of friends who throw around terms like queer and witch like they're ordinary and everyday, though they feel like an earthquake to Danny. But Danny didn't just find the Greys. They cast a spell that calls her halfway across the country because she has something that they need. She can bring back Imogen, the most powerful of the Greys, missing since the summer right before she wandered... the summer night she wandered into the woods alone. But before Danny can find Imogen, she finds a dead boy with a redwood branch through his heart. Something is very wrong amid the trees and fog of the Lost Coast, and whatever it is, it can kill. Lush, eerie, and imaginative, Amy Rose Capetta's tale overflows with the perils and power of discovery, and what it means to find your home, yourself, and your way forward.
God, I wish I could read.
Sounds really cool.
That sounds really cool. I really wish I could read. Like, because I would love to read that.
But yeah, it sounds like a cool book. I definitely want to read it. I need to find it first. I don't know if it's... because I don't want to order from Amazon. I don't like Amazon.
Yeah.
But
eBay.
I wonder if they just have them in bookshops, like
that's true. Yeah,
that I could just go to, like a brick and mortar store,
like an LGBT section or something.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a cool book. It sounds spooky, gay, and magical, which is fun.
Yeah, I like that. It sounds like a neat little like kind of mystery.
I definitely like 40-year-old white woman books, but like this sounds like another up my alley sort of thing. Yeah,
definitely. Also, I'd like to do a little update on the episode we recorded last time, which will be a week ago for all of you, but for us, it was only 24 hours ago.
Yes.
So, I would like to propose another concurring segment.
Oh no.
This is my now third segment of the show.
We're making so many segments.
Yeah, this is an episode of segments. Last episode we talked about the DC film slate and how they keep adding and taking away movies, and they keep like canceling things before they even begin, and it's so much. So I want to do a little segment. I don't have like a name for it necessarily, but like I want to like just sort of like keep track of like, hey, what's going on with DC?
Yeah. just like a you know that like reaction image of like that, it's like a stick figure dad and he's like poking his head into a door and he's going, "Are you winning, son?" It's that, but for DC.
Yeah, or I pictured DC being the equivalent of like that's like the corporation equivalent of like the dog who's drinking the coffee while his house is on fire and he just goes, "This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine."
This is also apparently the episode where we just reference memes.
Yeah. So I don't have like a fun title for this segment, but I do want to address the Joker movie, the Jared Leto led Joker movie.
Oh yeah.
As well as all other Joker led spin-off movies that aren't Joaquin Phoenix Joker related have been canceled. Jared Leto is gone, girl.
No more clown.
He's out a Rooney.
Goodbye,
No more.
clown.
Goodbye, clown. He's gone. I was at a film club meeting last night. I mentioned that I said, "Hey, what do y'all think of the Jared Leto Joker?" And one guy said, "He sucks and I hate him. I hate Jared Leto. He's terrible. He's garbage." And I said, "Have I got good news for you?" And I heard someone else say, I think he deserves like another shot, like to make it work. And I said, "Have I got bad news for you?" Because I think you sent me like the headline that the movies got canceled.
Yes, I did. I sent you like a screenshot.
Yeah, me personally, I'm on the side of thank God he's gone.
Yeah, can't say I'm disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Because like he sucks as a person, and also he's not that great a Joker, and also screw the Joker. He doesn't need to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although we'll talk about this when we do the Suicide Squad episode. What do we do with him?
Get rid of him. Throw him in the ocean.
That's a good idea. Throw him in the ocean. Brilliant.
I'm a genius.
You are everything. You are nothing if not a genius.
Make me Batman. I'm the new Batman.
Master Bruce, what are we going to do about the Joker?
Who the fuck is Bruce?
What?
If I'm Batman, my name's not Bruce. Mr. Batman. You will address me as Mr. Batman and nothing else. What about your secret No!
You're literally saying, like, I'm gonna be Batman, but I'm not gonna be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be Leo becomes Batman.
I'm Man-Bat.
There is a character named Man-Bat.
Yeah, I figured.
He's a man who transforms into a giant bat.
That's cool. Why doesn't Batman do that? Batman fucking sucks shit in comparison to this character. That's so much cooler.
Man-Bat's whole thing is like he's like a scientist who's like trying to cure his deafness. So he like mixed like some DNA from bats, which is a bad idea. It was never gonna end well, and he just turned into a giant horrible bat monster.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And just destroys things. Like he's just a lunatic monster madman now. But he's just like, you know, he's just a nice little doctor in the body of a horrible bat beast.
Bat beast.
Bat beast. Batman villains are so weird.
Yeah, they are really fucking weird.
There's a dude who believes that he's like a reincarnation of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. There's this really weird, like, he's kind of almost transphobic. It's weird.
Who?
Professor Pig. Have you ever heard of this guy?
No.
He's like a D-list villain. He shows up in like one of the Arkham games. His whole thing is that like he like is obsessed with like perfection. So like he kidnaps people and like removes like imperfections in them, like a tattoo or like a bullet wound or whatever, and just like removes their genitals and like any like thing that like makes them like them. So they just are these like androgynous, like brainwashed, like it's very strange and like really creepy.
He sounds terrifying.
He's like completely fucked. He
sounds like if he wasn't a D-list villain, he could be like genuinely threatening and scary. That sounds really scary.
I legitimately like I was playing Arkham. I think it was Arkham Knight, like at like 12 in the morning, and I like got to his part, and I had to go to bed like after that, and I was so creeped out.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's terrifying.
I had to go to bed after that, and he wears like a pig mask.
Ooh.
So like it's kind of funny, but it's really unsettling. It's very off-putting.
What is this guy's name?
Professor Pig. It's spelled Pyg.
I'm looking this dude up.
I mean, like, look, there's a lot of things about like Batman villains like being like not very good representations of mentally ill people.
Yeah, for sure.
And this dude is definitely no exception. But it's a lot.
Yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah. I should have like a you have a Transformers quarter. I should have like a quarter where I like bring up like D-list like DC villains and like make you guess which one's fake.
All right. Well, I think we're going to call it for today's episode. I got to info dump about Transformers, so I'm feeling pretty satisfied and a little tired, if I'm honest. It's kind of late here.
Yeah. What are you going to do when we stop recording?
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to just, like, hang out with my roommates. Maybe, like...
That's cool.
Watch TV. They're probably just going to, like, play video games, and I'll just, like, do some shit in the same room. I might draw. I might doodle some shit.
Like smoking weed?
I might smoke some weed. I'm going to do a shit
wad.
ton of drugs.
Eat ass, suck a dick, and sell drugs. What I'm going to do after we stop recording
is beat off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna make dinner, and then I'm gonna come back here, and I'm gonna watch Sonic X on Hulu.
Cool. That sounds like a good plan.
Ooh, okay, question. Should I watch the sub, or should I watch the dub? Because, honestly, I love Jason Anthony Griffith as Sonic. I think he's a very good Sonic.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Sonic's characterization comes from his like kind of voice.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can really get that in Japanese as much.
Yeah, Sonic's whole thing in the Japanese version is he's cool, but what Japanese people consider cool is very different from what Americans consider cool.
Yeah, he
especially Americans in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah. I love Sonic so much. I should have a Sonic episode where I just gush about how much I love Sonic, even though he's stupid and bad.
I really enjoy Knuckles, so that sounds like a fun time.
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude. But you can
please keep the hey dudes in the podcast. They're so funny.
Yeah, I'll sprinkle those in. Yeah. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter if you want to reach out to us or just see what other stuff we're working on. If y'all want to check out my ceramic stuff that I'm doing in class, that's pretty cool. It's on Instagram. I'm at Gouacheboy on both Twitter and Instagram, Gouache. And Jessie.
And I am on Twitter at I'm okay at things, all spelled out, no like periods, asterisks,
no bullshit,
whatever. Yeah, and I'm on Instagram at Grinch_fat.
Keep an eye out for other stuff that we're working on. We're going to be uploading... I think we're just doing it every week at this point, right? Every Thursday?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Every Thursday there'll be
we have
a new episode.
So many like episodes backlogged like already.
Yeah, we record a lot.
We're good for like the next 3 weeks already.
Cool. So we'll be having another episode...
Episoding.
So we'll be having another episode coming out next Thursday, so look forward to that. And, yeah, that's kind of all I got for right now. What about you?
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Everyone go to YouTube and look up...
oh yeah, look up the
Funky
ASMR
Kong.
video of Funky Kong consoling you after a messy divorce. I don't think that's the actual title, but if you look that up, you'll get something. You'll get it.
I'm gonna look up the actual title just to be like super duper sure that it's like still up. I really hope it is. Funky Kong ASMR. If you Google Funky Kong ASMR, you'll find like a bunch of them. They exist. Yeah, tender and emotionally intelligent Funky Kong consoles you after a messy divorce.
It's very good. Isn't it like
There's
pretty
also-
long?
It's about 10 minutes.
Too long.
Yeah, there's also a 6-minute one from the same person. Caring and supportive Funky Kong gives you a ride home from the airport.
I feel like these are coming from somebody's experience. I don't... These are too specific.
Yeah, I was there. Funky Kong did that.
Yeah, Funky Kong picked me up from the airport. It was awesome.
This is from a different person. Funky Kong invites you to watch Cars 3 with him and supports you emotionally.
That sounds fantastic. I would love that.
Concerned and excessively sympathetic Funky Kong dines you after a bad disputation. I think they mean dines with you. Funky Kong ASMR prequel and sequel. Funky Kong seduces you in space, gum chewing as well.
Oh, I hate that. That sounds horrible.
It sounds like a really bad time, but I'm curious. Canorous and convivially gregarious.
Convivially gregarious?
Yes, Funky Kong offers you a Sprite cranberry.
Oh, great. Well, that's where we're going to end it for today, folks. We'll see you next time.
Get yourselves a Sprite cranberry.
Yeah, get a Sprite cranberry and let Funky Kong console you after your divorce. Also, read Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, please, God.
Yeah.
You won't regret it.
And read that one book, unless you're like me and you hate reading.
Oh yeah, read The Lost Coast. I would really like to see that get some traction, because that sounds really cool. I definitely want to read it, and when I start reading it, I'll let you know if it's good or not.
Okay, cool.
Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.